We have some other news right now, some new questions for California Attorney General Rob Bonta tonight after we learned that he has spent nearly $500,000 of his campaign funds on legal help. KCRA 3 political director Ashley Zavala is the first to report this story, and she joins us now with exactly what's going on here.
Golston, tonight we're learning Rob Bonta has spent a lot of his own campaign cash on legal help amid a federal bribery investigation. His campaign is saying that the money is to help with that investigation, but this is the first time we're hearing about this now 10 months after that investigation started. 2 days before announcing he would not run for California governor and seek re-election for attorney general. This was in February. Campaign finance records show he made 5 payments to a private law firm totaling $468,000. That law firm, Wilson Sonsini, Goodrich and Rosati, has a wide range of services, including legal help with government investigations and white-collar crime. Bonta's campaign confirmed the payments were for legal help with the ongoing federal bribery investigation that's happening in the East Bay. That's the investigation in which Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, the ex-mayor there, and a family full of business people known as the Dongs were indicted earlier this year. In a statement, his campaign's senior advisor, Dan Newman, said, "There are, of course, ongoing legal proceedings in the East Bay in which several people were charged with serious crimes. The AG wants to ensure that anyone who committed a crime is held accountable, so he engaged outside legal counsel to help his law enforcement partners pursue justice." Bonta has not been charged with the crime here, but he did return $155,000 worth of campaign donations he received from the Dongs. Bonta's advisor, Dan Newman, citing that ongoing investigation, really couldn't share much more information with me about this. But Bonta never said he would use his own campaign money to help with the investigation outside of his official capacity as Attorney General. So this is the first time, again, that we're learning about this. We did ask how much of that money is being used for him to have his own representation and how much is just to simply assist with this investigation. Tonight, it's really not clear still.
Well, so first up, people may be hearing this thinking, okay, can he even do this with that money?
And that's something we're asking tonight. Again, we've just learned a lot of this within the last couple of hours. Obviously, Bonta's campaign believes that yes, because they did use the money in this way, but I think there are questions about being upfront with donors about how exactly their contributions are being used.
Right. They may have thought it was going towards, political ads or political campaigns on TV, not legal fees. So 2 weeks ago, he told you he planned to stay out of the governor's race. Is that still the case?
Well, at the same time that I'm learning this tonight, I'm hearing from multiple sources that he is reconsidering and is having private conversations about a possible run for governor. When I asked his advisor, again, Dan Newman, about that, Newman really didn't have a comment or anything to share. We are still waiting. He said he'd get back to me on that.
All right, we'll wait to see what happens.
We will.
All right, thanks, Ashley.